In my travels through life, observing the myriad ways people interact and evolve, I've unearthed a profound truth. Intelligence isn't merely about accumulation of knowledge, but about the application of wisdom in everyday life, in how one treats others, and in the lessons learned from one's own errors. However, there's a twist in this tale. There are unmistakable signs, precisely 6, that betray a lack of wisdom in a person. Before you dismiss this as mere observation or chuckle at the notion, let me explain why this matters. Identifying these signs isn't about passing judgment, but about self-reflection, growth, and crucially, avoiding these very traps in our own lives. It's also about guiding others who might be ensnared in their cycles of folly without even realizing it. So, let's embark on this journey of discovery together, where we'll unveil the 6 undeniable signs of a foolish person, each sign bearing a lesson, a narrative, and a mirror for introspection. Because the road to wisdom begins with awareness. Are you ready to tread this path with me? Let's start with sign 1, a closed mind. A closed mind is the citadel of ignorance, constructed layer by layer with fear, pride, and stubbornness. Individuals with such minds not only repel new ideas but also barricade their own path to growth. They exist within self-imposed confines where everything must conform to their known and comfortable rules. Anything novel is seen as an adversary. Their outward confidence is often a mask, because genuine confidence comes from acknowledging one's own limits. Consider Mark, a department manager from a company where I once worked. Mark was adamant that traditional methods were superior, ignoring evident signs that his team was lagging behind. When a young employee proposed using modern project management tools to boost efficiency, Mark rebuffed the idea, stating, "We've done it this way for 10 years and it's worked fine." Consequently, while other teams advanced, Mark's team floundered, unable to adapt. Instead of introspection, Mark blamed his team, the market, and even fate, but never his own unyielding mindset. A closed mind not only stifles personal growth, but also hampers the progress of those around it. Wise people, however, embrace the unknown, understanding that wisdom isn't about being infallible, but about adaptability. Stoic philosophy reminds us that growth involves admitting, "I was wrong," or "I want to learn." If you see this trait in yourself or others, remember, embracing innovation fosters not just personal development, but a thriving work environment. Sign 2, constant blaming. Foolish individuals are adept at crafting excuses, never accepting fault. For them, failures are always external. The market was too volatile, someone else was biased. But this deflection serves only as a shield, preventing them from facing reality. Yet, this shield morphs into a cage, trapping them in stagnation. Take Lisa, an event organizer I collaborated with once. When her conference failed due to low attendance, she immediately pointed fingers at the marketing team for inadequate promotion. However, it was revealed that Lisa had delayed sending crucial event details, thus hampering the marketing efforts. Even then, she refused to acknowledge her part, leading to a loss of trust among her peers and her eventual resignation. Responsibility, though burdensome, is the key to growth. Stoic teachings remind us that life's mastery begins with owning our actions. If you catch yourself in this blame game, pause and reflect, could I have done more? Is there a lesson here? Taking responsibility isn't about dwelling on failure, but about catalyzing improvement. Sign 3, arrogance over humility. Have you met someone who insists they're the smartest in any room? That's the 3rd sign of folly, arrogance. It's not just a facade for insecurity, it's a significant barrier to wisdom. Truly knowledgeable people listen more than they speak, knowing that learning never ends. I remember Michael, a corporate manager, whose meetings were a monologue of his ideas, often dismissing others. When a project under his leadership failed, he blamed his team's lack of understanding, not recognizing his own hubris had doomed the project. Humility, in contrast, isn't self-deprecation, but a focus on learning and collaboration. Stoic philosophy teaches that wisdom blossoms when we open ourselves to new insights, admitting our errors. If you find yourself in arrogance's grip, ask if you're seeking validation or true growth. Wisdom isn't about belittling others but elevating everyone. Sign 4, lack of empathy. A clear sign of ignorance is a lack of empathy. an inability to understand or share the feelings of another. This not only isolates individuals, but also diminishes their character. Paul, a colleague, was notorious for complaining about project delays without understanding why they occurred. When Susan missed a deadline due to her son's illness, Paul publicly shamed her, ignoring her plight. Only years later, when Paul faced similar personal challenges, did he understand the hurt his lack of empathy had caused. Empathy isn't a sign of weakness, but a bridge to wisdom and human connection. Stoic thought urges us to connect genuinely with others, for true wisdom comes from these bonds. If you notice a lack of empathy in your actions, start by listening deeply, without judgment, to foster connection and growth. Sign 5, fear of change. The comfort zone may be cozy, but it's a cage. Those who fear change cling to old ways, like children afraid of the dark. Yet life is a river, constantly moving, bending, transforming. Michael, a man from a small town, resisted moving to a new place for better opportunities, only to see his familiar world change around him. When he finally moved, he found new joys and possibilities. The fear of change not only keeps one static, but blocks potential growth. Stoic philosophy teaches us to embrace change, for it's the nature of life. If you're resisting change, ask yourself what's at stake on both ends of the spectrum. Change is your path to growth. Resisting it keeps you anchored in fear. Sign 6, talking more than listening. Ever seen someone who dominates every conversation, rarely letting others speak? This is a clear sign of folly. They love their own voice, often disregarding others' insights, which not only breeds conflict but erodes relationships. John, a father I knew, monopolized family dinners, interrupting his children's stories with his own tales, dismissing his wife's suggestions. His family felt unheard, leading to disconnection. Listening isn't passive, it's an active engagement that shows respect and fosters understanding. Stoic wisdom tells us that listening is a pathway to learning. If you're like John, make a conscious effort to listen, truly listen next time. It's not just about waiting for your turn to speak, but about understanding, which builds stronger, more loving relationships. Conclusion: the journey from folly to wisdom. We've explored the 6 signs of a foolish person, but before you conclude your journey here, remember, we all exhibit these traits at times. The essence of Stoicism isn't about never being foolish, but about recognizing these moments as opportunities for growth. Wisdom is not a destination, but a journey of continual learning, admitting our mistakes and evolving. So, if you see these signs in yourself, embrace it as a call to betterment. Step out, listen more, blame less, and welcome change. This journey isn't for the perfect, but for the brave, those willing to look inward and say, I can do better. Remember, folly is temporary, but wisdom is an ongoing quest. Keep growing, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into living wisely. Thank you for watching.